Morning.
Awesome people. It is Wednesday on the Game Changing Work channel with Roxana and myself, Veronica. And we are all about trying to turn up that vibe of positive energy. We know that the energy that you emulate is what other people feed off of. And so we're trying to be a little more deliberate this week is to help raise that vibe. So our topic today is, which Roxana you have, how to have a positive mindset during difficult times. And so we're going to talk about what is mindset. And then I have some top 10 tips on how you can navigate and shift yourself into a mindset of positivity during difficult times. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So come join us, stay with us, and we will have a great time this morning. So we're going to jump right into it. So let's talk about what is mindset. Are you ready, Roxana?
Oh, yeah, I am. And that's a favorite of mine, actually. I just spoke about it. When was it? Yesterday and the day before. So what is mindset? And I love.
Are you sharing something real quick? Because I'm not seeing it. It's having the syndrome.
No, it's there. It's there.
It's not there.
We don't see it. Okay.
No, we might have to move on and be descriptive.
It's actually, so for anybody that doesn't see what I'm sharing, is it's a slide that says what do we mean by mindset. So that's it. Okay, so when we talk about mindset, we actually talk about an action that we're taking, knowingly or not, which is thinking about stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we have a thought, and then that thought makes us feel a certain way. Like when I feel sad or low, I'm thinking, this day is not my best day. I really don't like what's happening. I'm really disappointed. I'm really discouraged. And that makes me feel sad and low, right? And because I feel that way, then I will react or act one way or another. So it's going to have an impact on my behavior. And obviously, the behavior that I have, my actions, are definitely going to have an impact on what happens next, on my results. So that is why it doesn't work whenever I'm thinking all the time that this is not working, this doesn't work the way it should be, I don't like it, I don't know what to do anymore, and stuff like that. That only fuels that feeling of disappointment and discouragement, which does not fuel the action that I need to take to get the result that I want. And because I don't see results, because I'm not taking the action that I need, that is going to feed back right into my thinking pattern, right? Well, see, it never works and it will never work. And it's going to stay the same all the time. And then I keep feeling bad about it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie to all of you. Okay. I'm going to get real. Changing the way you think about things is not easy to do. It could be a quick fix and only temporary. And that's why sometimes you wonder why you get back into your habit. It's because conscious is on autopilot. Subconscious, really getting in and reprogramming that subconscious brain of yours, is where the journey lies. But if you keep doing it, that's when your subconscious will start driving your conscious reactions. Now, that's a whole other topic that we probably will jump into, something that I get into. But this is why the quick fix works that way. But here's the thing. Start doing the quick fix, because it's better to start trying to do these things. And if you keep doing it, that's where habits start to form. So I just wanted to put disclaimer out there. when we talk about positive mindset, and some people are like, nah, nah, nah. Well, there's a reason for that, because if you haven't really tapped into your subconscious, of course you're going to go back. And the next time something triggers in your life, you're automatically going to go back to your conscious autopilot, because that is what you're used to doing. So it is a journey, folks. I'm not going to lie.
It is a journey.
It's so worth it.
It is. And I think I like what you said about creating habits. And I think this is if you're looking for something longer term for positive mindset, it's creating habits that are good for you. So,
Yeah.
and with creating habits, we know that it takes 21 days to create a new habit.
Or more.
It actually takes longer to implement and to accommodate that newly created habit into your schedule longer term. So it takes about 60 days for you to start feeling comfortable and to actually see the results from that habit and from that routine. So that's why New Year's resolutions don't work, because people give up after the first month. Why? Because we don't allow enough time for that habit to actually produce visible results to us. I mean, and I say that all the time with personal development and with professional development. Why do we expect to see results the next day? I've taken a course, I'm doing coaching, I'm doing this and this and that. I don't see results. How long have you done it for? A week. Why are you expecting results? Why are we expecting results immediately when we don't do that with our body muscles? When we go to the gym, you don't go once and then you're fit and then your muscles look great.
And that's where I'm going to put my plug in, why every company and education system needs life coaching. Either learning what that means and you doing it, or bringing someone in. Regardless, it's needed, because it is a journey, folks. And I'm going to get real and get honest. If you come from my generation, we got a lot of baggage. Because most of us, from the time that we were 2 years old, where self-awareness actually comes about, and going into school, there really wasn't anything there to kind of help us through. So when you are in your 40s, this is when you start to kind of wake up and think back about life. Mm-hmm. Those of you that might follow me on LinkedIn, I posted the other day about regret. Go to danpink.com, and he's actually taking a survey, doing his next book on regret. Once you fill it out, you can actually see the whole world, and anybody that's filled out all the regret. Now it says like where the person's from and how old they are. It's quite fascinating. I think that those are going to be a couple of topics that we're going to have, I think, at the end of December, especially when we're going to go into New Year's resolution world. So we'll save for that, but this is all related. And what we want to do is get us to start being aware and cognizant of how we're thinking, so we can actually get into a higher vibration. And I know that I'll probably be talking about that more in my weekly MOJO shows, is really how to raise that vibration to a higher level. It's actually quite magnetic. The higher vibration you have, you're going to feel good, and everyone around you. So just think of you as being a manager. Think of you working in a team setting. Think of you being around your family. Oh, isn't that needed during the holidays? Oh, wait a minute. It's Thanksgiving this week.
Exactly.
So imagine raising that vibration, how more wonderful that those events would be. And sometimes it only takes one person to walk in that room with that magnetic energy. And
I think also,
right?
When you say thank you, you're already doing that. It's just it brings such a great energy with it. And I mean, we do it genuinely. It's just, thank you. I'm really grateful for that. And it's just a whole new level.
Yeah, I don't have the visual, but I think maybe, you know what we'll do, folks, those of you come to our Friday show. Yes, we do Monday and Wednesdays. When we're going to talk about gratitude.
Wednesdays and Fridays, not Monday and Wednesday.
Did I say Monday and Wednesday? See, I don't even know what day it is. horrible.
Maybe that's a sign. Maybe we should.
Don't know what I'm talking about. So anyways, Wednesdays and Friday mornings at 8:25. What we'll do on Friday, because we're going to be talking about gratitude, I'm going to get that visual, which is going to show you the vibration levels. So we can actually connect the dots on what we're talking about right now. But let's jump into the top 10 tips. You want to get into that, Roxana? What do you think?
I would, absolutely.
Now, I don't know.
Are you not seeing this again? No?
But I got my handy dandy piece of paper that we can run off.
Okay, so, never mind. I'm just trying to keep sharing. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? We move on. The technology does not. It's actually just showing the cool looking circles in my view. So those of you that are following us, let us know if you are experiencing the same thing. Just go ahead and comment. I think we have some people on Facebook or what might have you. Let us know if our visual sharing.
It's not. I just checked. It's not. It wasn't there. So it was the second slide saying tips to help you set your mind. So let's go.
Cute. Wonderful. All right. So we'll move on from that. So the number one is quit being a victim. Now, I have spoken about these kind of things before. Some of you might be familiar with the DDT, the drama triangle, where that is going to hit a lot of being a victim. In the triangle, you have being a victim, you have a persecutor, and you have a rescuer. So we're only going to hone in on being a victim right now. I think that's a whole other topic. And so let's talk about what happens when you're in the victim mode and what happens to your energy levels when you start thinking and feeling this way.
Well, it's, again, you start thinking and then you start feeling and then you start not doing the things that you would be doing normally if you didn't feel bad, to get the outcome, to get the result that you want to get. Now, let's say, and I use this comparison a lot. Let's say you're a high-performing athlete. You're at the Olympics. You just had a super rough day today in the competition because, I don't know, something happened and you finished your race last. And obviously, after 4 years of work, to be in the Olympics and to go there and to get that and to win the race, and you're coming up last, and you know that you're going to have probably a second competition that you need to be in 2 days or 3 days from then. What do you do to pick yourself up? Because obviously you're down, you're low, you're disappointed.
I mean, you even describing this right now, I'm feeling like crap.
Right? Well, I do feel like, because I see all of my
natural to feel this way. And I think we need to acknowledge, yes, you have feelings and it's okay to have the feelings. Acknowledge it, label it, own it. It's more of, okay, now I know when I'm in this mode, what do you do?
Exactly. That's where routines come in place, and that's where they help. Because you will know, okay, you stay with that feeling. You say, okay, this didn't work. It really sucks and I really feel bad, but I do have another chance. And I think we forget that a next day is a next chance that we're getting. And we just don't think about that a lot, right? Because we're in that state where I don't want to communicate, right? I'm closing down, I'm shutting off. I don't want to communicate. Okay, don't stay with it and then get out of it. So that's where routines help for you to get out of that. And
speaking of the routine, number 2 is taking stock and meditation. Now, meditation isn't easy. I fought it for years. Like anyone that knows me, they're like, I think I had actually a fellow coach. She goes, "You meditate now?" So every morning I do. I actually turned it into my routine. I also do some breathing exercises that go along. So there's like even practicing breathing meditation. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that you can think about doing. And then another one, as we jump to number 3, I want to make sure that we cover all these in the time that we have, is focusing on the positives. We automatically always think of the bad things that are happening in the given moment. And a lot of times we're rough on ourselves. I think a lot of times we move to victim because our expectations of what we thought and dreamed in our head would happen didn't happen. But we never jump to what are the good things that just happened, and acknowledge and give yourself some celebration. So like your example, like the athlete, that's a lot of hard stinking work, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
do you think they probably jumped to that going, you know what? I really did all these things and I got up, and they start celebrating themselves. And that's what we talk about when we're talking, I'm kidding to say, that's what we mean by talking about the positives. And that, I think, let's use that at the Olympic analogy all the way through. How's that?
Yeah. So what I think doesn't happen with them is I don't think they keep saying to themselves, oh, you know what, whatever happens, I'm not gonna give 100%. Let's just get back home because I had that one bad day. I had that one bad race. I think what they're doing, and also high performing athletes, they do have a team of people behind them, right? They
Yeah.
have all of the coaches, they have all of the physiology and sports and mindset and psychologists and nutritionists and by the way, if we need to think of ourselves as high performers as well. And if you do that, then you need to become your team and also bring people on your team in your corner that can help you. Exactly. That can help you deal with that. I mean, think about, there's a reason why high performing people have coaches and they work with coaches. And that relates to everything that you said, Veronica, about companies having life coaching as well. But it's just find your tribe, find your people, and get the help that you need. And then understand how you work, understand what happens to you, what are your triggers, what's your motivation, and what works for you, and go with that. I mean, that will help, knowing, just noticing. And that's one of the reasons I say emotional intelligence is where you start, because you need to start with self-awareness, because you need to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you, so that you can change what doesn't. Otherwise, you will never be able to change it unless you understand.
No. So let's go to number 4, because we got to get through these. We're not even halfway there yet. So giving thanks. We already covered that about giving thanks. So I'm going to move on quickly on that because we have mentioned that. And also number 5, which you just mentioned, is reaching out to others. Yeah. So one of the big things about positivity is reaching out to others when you're feeling, bad, especially in a crisis, and surrounding yourself with people that will give you support. A lot of times, some people will go into a cave and want to hide away. You want to be mindful what that does to your mind and in your behaviors and actions if you're there too long. And another one, if we move into number 6, is getting enough sleep.
Oh, that's a big one. I'm a fan of that. Yes.
When I'm actually depressed and feeling bad, I actually want to sleep. So I never have that problem. There are 2 things that I don't do. Lack of sleep or eating. That's how some people, when they're depressed or feeling bad, those are 2 habits that people go to. I'm actually quite the opposite. All I want to do is sleep, and I don't want to eat. I'm the opposite.
Yeah, it depends. I think it's when we're in that state, we go into that fight, flight, or freeze mode. So I guess it really depends on where you go when you're in a crisis situation. And I feel that, and also what happens to us when we're in that mood of I'm really down, I'm depressed, I'm disappointed, we shut off, we don't want to communicate. So it's normal that we just sleep, or we go and scroll endlessly onto social media. And that's where sleep cannot have the quality or even the quantity that we need. Because with social media scrolling, what happens is you get a lot of adrenaline and a lot of dopamine that fuel you and that give you more energy, because hey,
Yeah.
you're looking for something to excite you and you're endlessly looking for the next best thing. So obviously you're not going to get into that relaxing state that you need for a good night's sleep.
I could attest that I was a serial relationship finder and always being on the dumps every time I got dumped. It was like the 90-day syndrome with me. All of my friends, I'm on Facebook, you know how I was. But the one thing that I always looked for, I mean, I would get on a flight and fly to like Ohio. I'd fly to Arizona, after I had a breakup and feeling dumpy, because I needed that energy. And I remember going and driving to a friend's house and just sitting there. And while they went out and I sat home, and they were like probably going, why did you drive all the way over here? It's because I was trying to change my mindset, even though I was having difficulty doing it for something. And I want to bring this up is your body, when you're in pain, it actually is a trigger to acknowledge. Mm-hmm. And there's a fine line between pain and pleasure when it comes to change. And you are looking for the pleasure because the pain is driving you to move towards that. Whole other topic too. So it's so important. And so here's another thing. Number 7, limit bad news intake. That's probably one of the things I don't want to be around when something is going wrong in my life, is to be around. I don't like watching news. That's like a mecca of like just toxic badness. And social media. I'm going to warn all of you. Okay. Those of you that are watching us right now, limit your intake. Limit your intake. It's not healthy.
Yeah. It's not healthy. It's not productive. It's really harmful long-term. So just make it, I think I'm also a big fan of, make your plan, make your schedule, and make your schedule with self-care moments in it, because that is part of who you are, is your business. Right?
Yeah.
Your transformation journey, that's your business, and that's important business, so it should be there in your business schedule as well.
Love yourself.
Yes.
And it's so hard sometimes, especially if you're so busy loving others. A lot of you that have loved ones that you're caring for right now, either if it's your children, that self-love, husband, parents, you name it, or you are loving your work so much that all of that love that you have in you is just exuberating to everyone else. And then there's nothing left for you. This is why it's so important to, all these things that we're talking about is about you. It's about you loving yourself and paying attention to these things. It's so vital. And all those other people that you're giving your love to, you're going to come there with such a higher vibration of energy and more love to give, that it's actually going to be quite magical.
Yeah.
And number 8 is joining forces with others. So if you start to surround yourself with others that are like-minded in thinking this, and again, I'm not talking about assimilation. I'm always about diverse thinking. This is more about people that believe in the mindset and want to be better as a person. So if you're surrounded by a lot of people that are in low frequency vibration, that aren't in their life, and I don't want to hold judgment, they're not in the life or in the space to actually want to improve, surround yourself and join forces with other people that do. Now, I'm not saying go divorce your husband, go like ban your family and do something. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is find like people that actually have, that's why people join clubs.
Exactly.
That's why meetups became so popular.
That's
You got Facebook
I
groups, you
think
got all these
so.
things. So there's
Yeah,
abundance out there.
there
Hobbies,
is.
right? That's
Yeah,
why people join hobbies.
yeah,
So there's abundance out there where you can do that. And then it's actually your feel good time. Call it your personal quality time.
exactly.
And I think that's good, right?
Yeah. And I
And
think it's,
yeah,
I like to call it join your tribe or find your tribe, because
yeah, I
that's
love it.
how you feel like that. It feels like that. I mean, when you found that group of people that you really resonate with, they're your tribe, and it just helps you bloom.
And those of you that are watching the recorded version, because I know that we have low watching today. I'm watching. I don't know if you see anyone on LinkedIn right now. I mean, it is the holidays here in the United States, so a lot of people are probably already getting their gobble on. It's turkey
Well,
time, people. It's family time. So, but if you're watching the recorded version, let us know, comment, what are the things that you're doing to keep a
mhm.
positive mindset? We would love to hear from you. And so we're going to wrap up with the last two, which is getting close to nature. There's nature all around us. Even if you live in Jungle City, there's probably something that gives you your zen. Like
Yeah.
for me, I live close to the beach, half a mile away from the beach. Not trying to, those of you that are jealous, sorry. But I go to the beach. I ground myself. I like walking, like on the water, getting my feet wet and sitting there. And I'm actually appreciating being here now, type the moment, everything around that. I am purposely making sure every week I go. I would love to go daily, but it's not fitting in my schedule. But at least one, I promise myself that I do it.
Mhm.
And I'm finding my vibes are raising because of it, weirdly enough. And I find Sunday, because after all the week of stuff, Sunday is actually my good day to kind of release.
The recharge,
What's your
release and
favorite nature
recharge.
thing? What's your
Well,
favorite nature thing?
for me, it's running. Running is like it combines everything. You just go out. I also find it a good meditation
You just
exercise.
combo pack it all in.
But when you run, you're just you and yourself, and you're running. I mean, no one interferes, and you
Wow.
just clear your mind. You just do whatever. It doesn't matter. The feet keep moving. So
And those of you that are runners as well, I know I have some Facebook friends that are runners. Comment, let us know, share. Do you feel the same way with Roxana, or is there something about running that does that for you? I'd love to kind of hear your take on it. I don't run, but I miss, like when I lived in Arizona, hiking in the mountains. It's something I
mhm.
really enjoyed. So I kind of find, my other variations. And so number 10
Ta-da.
is reevaluating the meaning of life. Now that one's heavy.
Oh, what does that mean? How do you reevaluate the meaning of life? I wonder. But I have an idea. So you think about just appreciating. I think it starts with just take 5 minutes to appreciate yourself now, and that will bring a new perspective on what everything means to you. And
Yeah.
if you just think about everything that this year has meant for most of the people on this planet, then I think we've kind of all had sudden reevaluation of the meaning of life and what's important to us.
Yeah. And that's why I love always saying that Mark Twain quote. Like, I think I'm attached to it these days. It's like my new motto, is that there's two important things, right? The day that you're born and the day that you discover why.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be somebody that is going to be a Nobel Prize winner and something just great. Maybe your meaning of life is your family and how important it is to you. But it's really starting to think about what is meaningful for you that brings you to that higher vibration of joy and love. And it's all personal and unique to you. Don't compare it to anyone else, because right there you're doing injustice of the beauty of why you were born. And so this is what we talk about. Number 10, it's about you and your meaning, nobody else's. And don't let anyone try to tell you what that is or feel that you're being judged by that. Release that from your expectation. There's nothing small about you and your own meaning, period.
Unless you make it small. You're the only
Correct.
one who can do that.
You create it. You're at cause, as my coach always says. You are at cause.
Yeah.
But it's all about you. So
Yeah.
we're at 8:55. So we're going to wrap up.
Wrap up.
Wednesday. Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Friday is about gratitude. And so we're going to touch on the feelings of gratitude. So this is the U.S. Thanksgiving special edition. Most of you are going to be off work.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys will join us. If you can't join us at 8:25, we always have the recorded session.
So follow us on YouTube and you will see all of the videos there.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is the best way. Yeah. One of the things also is that any kind of additional things from books that we're recommending or what might have you are always in the description. Yeah. So YouTube gives us an ability to add more meat and content when you go into the description of that. So I always encourage everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of the other social platforms, it gets lost in comments or what might have you. So go over there, show us some love, like our videos, and subscribe to our channel. Please. Now, wrapping up, Roxana, you have a couple of masterclasses that is helping people leaders, as I like to call them, managers for the future.
Yeah, so actually we started yesterday, and we started with emotional intelligence and mindset and the connection between the two, and the connection with leadership, which is there's no discussion of leadership without emotional intelligence, really. So today we're moving on to power poses, body language, and how that affects our mindset. So you might want to watch that. We do 30-minute sessions at 12:30 and at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So you're welcome to join. I do live on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. So I'm having a whole series. You want to catch all of the replays and all of the resources. I also have a link for you to make sure that you're catching that. So join me and let's have some fun. And for you,
I have not so much fancy since I'm in transition. For me this year, got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to be starting weekly live MOJO sessions. I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel, which is the Rethink with Veronica channel. And what we're going to tap into is all about empowerment and mindset about life and success for you in life and career. So me as an Agilist, I'll be getting real and really looking at the people side and thinking about how you can get in that driver's seat of your life and career. So come join me. We're going to have Q&As. I'm going to have people that I'm inviting, which are going to be stories from the trenches, as I call it. It might be entrepreneurs. It might be people working at companies. I keep it agnostic because I don't see any difference, like Roxana, between personal and life. It's really about how did people get through this in order to be successful. And I think it'd be great for people to share their stories. So I'm going to invite them to come on. So come join, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to start kicking it off next week. I got it, but I'll post that probably on Friday when I actually have time to do it. So
awesome.
So I have to work 2 jobs.
Yeah. Okay. So we gotta finish the live stream. So join us on Friday and let's see how gratitude changes us and our brain.
All right. So XO, love you all and see you guys on Friday.
Bye.